Here we have a question, typical question on elasticity of demand. So for example, you're given a price of this demand function that is given by question to you, and there's a set quantity amount that we are interested in. So this is the point that we are concerned about, and the question will typically ask you for two things. Find the point elasticity of demand, and second is this particular demand function and the product that's of concern, is this elastic, or is it inelastic, or is it unit elastic? So we know that point elasticity of demand is given by this Greek letter called eta, and that has to do with price over quantity over derivative of this function. And for the proof of this and how this comes about, based on very simple concept, please check out the concept video on the elasticity of demand. So once you understand this and you know that eta, which is the point elasticity of demand, so this is given by this Greek letter eta that we are interested in, then we need to just plug in what we have here, this information that's given to us. So this will equal to price is 250 e to the power of negative q over 50. And quantity that we are interested in is 50. And here, this is a derivative of this function with respect to variable q. Obviously, this function is in terms of q, so we can take derivative of this with respect to variable q. So if we are to do this, on a side note, this will be 250 e to the power of negative q over 50 times negative 1 over 50. As a result of chain rule. So we can simplify some things, so this will become 50, and so the answer will be negative 50 e to the power of negative q over 50. So this is our dp over dq. So we can plug this into our eta equation in order to determine the point elasticity of demand. So here we have negative 50 times e to the power of negative q over 50. For some people, working with multiple layers for fraction is kind of hard to do. If it is difficult, you can simplify as much as you can and then or collapse whatever's in the bottom with whatever's in the top in the denominator. So here in this case, we can cancel a couple of things. So this can cancel with this 50, and since this is in the top, this is in the top, these two can also cancel out as well. So what we are left with is 50 over negative 50, which is negative 1. Most of the time, your eta will be negative because whenever price increases, quantity is going to decrease, because eta is based on the percentage change in quantity over percentage change in price. So the first point we have done. As for the second part of the question, to determine whether it's elastic or inelastic or unit elastic, you can determine what that means based on these word descriptions. When it says elastic, like an elastic band, that means it's very flexible. So if it is very flexible, then the change is going to be a lot, because eta represents change in quantity over change in price. So for every dollar of change, if quantity is changing a lot, that means this particular product is very flexible and very sensitive to the price, and so this will be elastic. So in this case, the eta will be, the absolute value will be greater than 1. Unit means it is of one thing per unit. So in that case, you can guess that this is equal to 1. That means every percentage change in quantity is equal to percentage change in price. Inelastic means opposite of elastic. That means this is not flexible. If it is not flexible, then even though percentage change in price increases a lot, this is not going to change as much. So as the denominator increases, if this stays, the result is going to get smaller. Therefore, in this case, this will be eta that's less than 1. So here we have covered all bounds, greater than 1, less than 1, or equal to 1. So here in this case, our eta is equal to -1. So what we will have to show to answer the second part is that our eta is equal to, show that it is -1, but inside this absolute value, and because it is equal to 1, we will say that this particular product is unit elastic. So this is a typical example of a question you can be given with the demand function for price with the quantity that it's interested in. And based on this, you need to find the point elasticity of demand first by substituting into the equation price over quantity over the price function derivative with respect to variable quantity, and then substituting this information, simplifying, canceling, making sure you don't make a mistake, and then you will come up with a number which will either fall into one of these three criteria. Negative sign is discarded, only the value is of interest. And based on these three criteria, you can write a concluding sentence to show which of the three this particular quantity and the price this demand function falls under, and you can say whether it's unit elastic or inelastic.